Welcome, one and all, to Sonic Month, a month devoted to the super fast blue hedgehog and his series that goes up and down in quality just as fast. Okay, we aren't here to look at the bad ideas that came from the blue blur over the years. We'll make fun of them, but we're really here to celebrate the great potential that Sonic has shown and is more than capable of. No, I'm not doing this because the second Sonic movie came out last month. What would give you that idea? To that end, let's talk about the first thing that comes to mind when you think about Sonic. No, not the music. No, not the chili dogs. No, not Shadow or the Sonic Boom cartoon or how bad Sonic 06 was. No, we're not even talking about Sonic himself. We're talking about the levels. Since the whole point of Sonic is to go super fast, we're looking at the levels that not only let you go, for lack of a better term, Sonic speed, but what more they can offer besides that. You'll see a lot of these levels were featured in Sonic Generations because of how good they were, how much they were fondly remembered. I mean, if you're going through the victory lap of your franchise, you want to get to the stuff that stands out. Later Sonic levels naturally up the challenge, but this can be frustrating to do with someone as fast as our little blue hedgehog. So the rules for these would be: 1. How fun and challenging are the stages? 2. How popular or memorable were these zones and do they still stack up today? And of course, most importantly, 3. How much do they let you go? Here's the top 10 Sonic levels. To kick off this list, let's talk about Leaf Storm. No, not the grass type move from Pokemon. I'm talking about the first level in Sonic Rush. A lot of people don't give Rush enough credit despite being the cohesive 2D Sonic package fans usually love. And a lot of that greatness is demonstrated well through the stage we start with. Leaf Storm is full of bright, beautiful greenery as well as the slopes, loops, and corkscrews we typically associate with these levels. The jungle aesthetic is certainly a breath of fresh air compared to the other first levels, especially with all the vine rails you get to slide through. But what makes Leaf Storm stand out is its emphasis on airborne control. There are plenty of springs and bungee vines sending you up to the sky for you to perform taunts and tricks. This helps build up your tension gauge, which in return boosts your standard speed across each act. And given the level's standard progression, you have a lot of opportunities to practice this mechanic and get accustomed to it. But if Sonic's voice gets annoying after a while, you can always choose to taunt wisely. The level is this low, however, because the boss that follows it up is kinda boring. Too much health, not a lot going on. If you don't time your jump right during the sweeping attack, you gotta do the whole fight from the start. Strange too, because the rest of the stage did a great job easing you in while establishing its own unique mechanics. Doesn't slow it down by much, of course, considering it still gave a good impression on how much of a rush the game's ready to put you through. Again, not a better term to be found. Way back in 1991, when Sega was still duking it out with Nintendo in the console wars, they put their hopes and dreams on the back of a certain blue blur. And the rest is history. Of course, that history all starts with a humble place called Green Hill Zone. Now, before you all crucify me, again, let me explain. Green Hill Zone is the OG, with all the good and the bad that entails. It has a heavy dose of first installment awkwardness. In a franchise that became known for its need for speed, there was a lot of stopping and starting going on in much of Sonic 1, and Green Hill Zone is no exception. There are very few spots where you feel like you're moving forward at a good pace, and even fewer of those spots where you feel like you're in control. One of the biggest issues is the hidden spring traps. Just as you feel like you're hitting your groove, you run into one of these springs and suddenly you're thrown back quite a distance before you even know what happened. I don't know what's worse, the springs or the rocks that you faceplant bringing you into a dead stop. Another aspect of this is the soundtrack. Sonic became well known for having great music even in mediocre or bad titles, and I'm just gonna be honest, I don't like the Green Hill Zone theme. It's not bad, it's just not great. I know a lot of people have fond memories of it, but that just makes it nostalgic, not good. The limitations of the hardware are really apparent. Still, for being the very first Sonic stage ever sped through, Green Hill Zone deserves at least this spot on the list. It's very hard to do a level where you go fast and still be a platformer, but for the first outing, I'd say they did a pretty decent job. You gotta love it when games really go out of their way to have a Halloween-themed level, combining gloomy yet colorful environments, songs of whistles and chimes, and out-of-bounds mechanics. You'll surely spice up the game's variety and aesthetics. In Sonic Heroes, we have two stages like this. Hang Castle, and Mystic Mansion. While these levels are two acts of the same part of the game, I'd like to focus on Mystic Mansion in particular. Or Mystic Castle, sure. Both stages really exude those Halloween elements I was talking about. Ghostly enemies, monstrous set pieces, underground roller coasters, and to top it all off, wacky mechanics. While Hang Castle's switches turn the stage upside down, the switches in Mystic Mansion trigger other stuff. Paintings coming to life, opening up passages, and accessing different parts of the void space towards the end of the stage. Everything also takes place inside the walls of the mansion, so on top of the charming puzzles and interior decor, you're also spared the bottomless pits and clumsy sense of direction Hang Castle is sometimes guilty of. Well, mostly. The end part can still be a lot tricky unless you know what you're doing. For all its tricks, this stage is an absolute treat to play through. Great design, fun horror themes, and intuitive mechanics that are sure to keep you engaged bustling around the spooky mansion. Jeez, calling a castle a mansion now. It really is a seller's market. No, I totally didn't plan to have two Mystic-themed levels back to back. Nope, not me. When have I ever planned things out like this just for a joke? I know we're all used to Sonic's gotta go fast mantra, but believe it or not, even 1992's Sonic 2, the sequel to the original 1991 game, knew that speed wasn't always the key to clearing a level, even in this franchise. That's made abundantly clear in the Mystic Cave Zone levels. Already off the bat, I love the cave's atmosphere, the dark, foreboding imagery, and the catchy music that kind of reminds you of the Inspector Gadget theme song. I know that was done on purpose, but nah, it fits. It's just a bit of an uncomfortable, cramped feeling, which is good because this is not a comfy level. Breakaway platforms, spikes that can pop up anywhere, rocks looking to pound your lights out, rotating crates, flashers, and Carlton, vines that you have to grab onto and hold on for just the right amount of time. It's not just a race against time anymore, now it's a race to survive. Of course, all that is before the big boss at the end of Act 2, Robotnik and his Egg Digger. To add to the cramped feeling, you're gonna have to avoid both him and falling rocks from the ceiling. Thankfully, just hit Eggman 10 times and you're good to go. Or, if you're playing the 2013 remake, you can skip him entirely if you can find the hidden Palace Zone entrance. They took care of the oh-so-blessed inescapable spike pit. Overall, what the Mystic Cave Zone lacks in speed and aerodynamics, it makes up for by really testing your trap avoidance capabilities. Coupled with a great ambiance and toe-tapping music, you got the makings of a good level that shows there's more to Sonic than just being a speed demon. While the debate will rage on over whether Sonic Adventure or 2 is better, there's one thing we can all agree on. Speed Highway kicks butt! The level more than lives up to its name with you going blazing fast through a highway at nighttime. Even the music is incredibly accurate in describing what you do. The Sonic stages in Sonic Adventure 1 are divided into multiple sections, and this one takes full advantage of it. Between the fast-paced highways, that freaking intense run down a skyscraper, and the glorious return to sunrise, there's not a dull moment to be found. Like all great Sonic levels, the fact that it's short ends up being to its benefit, not its detriment. So much is crammed into such a short amount of time, and none of it overstays its welcome. While we're talking about Speed Highway, I gotta highlight the music that plays during the last section at dawn. That song is so 80s, I could just see the music video in my mind. Sonic Colors, the game everyone considered to be the revival of Sonic after the, let's say, experimental years that were the 2000s. Sonic Colors was praised for its fast pace and exciting gameplay, though I will say some of the stages weren't as varied. A good portion of them were all just outer space and amusement park themed in some way. Okay, the game takes place in an amusement park in space, but okay, we're getting sidetracked. Out of all the stages, the one I thought was the most fun and felt had the theme of the game the most was the Starlight Carnival. And what a carnival this is! Act 1 has you starting out on a purple energy path as you dash side to side to avoid laser beams from oncoming robots. After seeing them be taken out, you have to go home in on some floating objects in space! Eventually, you enter a ship where you get introduced to the blue block wisp, which adds a new mechanic to toy around with. The rest of the stage combines those mechanics with some free falling in... my ears! Of course, you do keep coming back to the purple energy road and blasting through it while seeing a bunch of space carriers coming in from light speed. And light speed is how you feel as you blast your way to the goal on the auto run sections. Now this is just Act 1, what about the others? While each world in Sonic Colors has multiple acts, the ones following Act 1 are mostly short stages with their own individual gimmick, usually with the green hover wisp or the pink spike wisp. While these portion stages are shorter, they still add some interesting puzzles and platforming challenges that will test players even early on in this game. Act 1 of each stage is where the main theming and design of the world are shown in full force. Colors is a fantastic game that did amazing things for Sonic, and Starlight Carnival is one of the best stages from it. The only reason it's here at number 5 is the next 4 stages are just that good.
I'm honestly glad I can go to a carnival and not have to leave with stomach pain or smelling like a petting zoo. No. There was no petting zoo.
Before I really dive into the level itself, a bit of backstory. The Stardust Speedway zone was originally the 6th stage for Sonic CD. That level is actually one of the best in the game, but as for CD itself, well...
that one didn't age quite so well.
Yeah, hot take here, Sonic CD isn't as great as people remember. Anyways, in comes 2017 Sonic Mania, essentially a fan-made love letter to the classic games and the franchise overall that Sega published. Yes, it counts. They designed whole new levels and even refurbished a few familiar ones, which finally brings us to our number 4 spot, Stardust Speedway Zone. As usual, the zone is split into 2 acts, but this time around, both acts represent a different time period, both the past and the future respectively. Already, I love the conflicting style choices for both halves. The past is more Greek, Rome-inspired with lots of overgrown vegetation and gold statues over a gorgeous night sky. Inversely, Act 2 has a more urban setting full of neon lights and a layout built almost like an enormous industrial orchestra with violet highlights. The tunes used for both parts really add the extra zing to the experience. Act 1's is more relaxed and vibing. While Act 2's is busy, fast, and danceable. Of course, in the spirit of fairness and doing things in twos, both acts come with their own respective bosses. The past boss is Hotaru Hiwatt, a robotic firefly, while the future's boss is Mr. Super Mario Bros. Z himself, if you know you know, Metal Sonic. Hiwatt uses his miniature Bug Brothers and his own beam attack for combat. Meanwhile, Metal Sonic challenges you to a race, or at least tries to bash you under the guise of a race, to the generator where he brings out his Silver Sonic drones for you to crush, and then starts the chase up again. Best bet for both bosses? Dodge as much as you can and bop them when they're open. And in the case of Metal Sonic, be prepared to run for it, Marty! Arguably the best part about Mania's Stardust Speedway is how it took a great level from CD and gave it a fresher coat of paint. It challenges the player with 2 dynamic settings that really complement each other well and genuinely feels like it was revamped by someone who loved and respected the franchise dearly. Should we be worried when a fan was able to make a better Sonic game than the actual company that year?
My next entry is Crisis City from Sonic... Generations! Generations. It's okay. Calm down.
Anyways, I mentioned ages ago that Sonic 06 was a game with legitimate potential held back by poor execution and rushed development. Among the many examples of this is Crisis City. Exploring a post-apocalyptic metropolis and fighting demons with epic orchestral music playing in the background? How is that not awesome? Fortunately for us, the devs of Sonic Generations felt the same way and chose Crisis City to represent 06. Though since we are talking about Generations, this raises the question of whether we're going to go with the classic or modern version.
Both.
both as good.
Yeah, there's no way I couldn't put both of them on this list. Sonic Generations is a game all about celebrating what makes multiple eras of Sonic good, so it'd feel unfair to pick only classic or modern. The fast-paced platforming of classic, the exhilarating speed and camera angles of modern, they're both so good! I mean, they're short, yes, but they managed to pack in so much goodness that it doesn't feel that way. Big shout out to the classic version for including quite possibly the biggest troll move in all of Sonic history. Like everything else in Sonic Generations, Crisis City understands what makes both classic and modern Sonic great. It takes the best aspects of both while fixing what hasn't aged as well. To be honest, it would have been harder to pick my least favorite stage from Sonic Generations. Even then, it's not bad, it's just not as good as the other ones. Before the fan remakes came along, this was the closest we had to a fully realized version of Sonic 06, and it rocked! As for the music, no contest, classic wins.
If this song came out in the 2000s, it would have made so many AMVs.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I present to you what is probably the most popular and well-known stage in Sonic Unleashed, Rooftop Run Day. I mean, really, Rooftop Run Day might just be the perfect modern Sonic stage. The location is a gorgeous, rustic, European-looking city, the stage has some light platforming, combat, and a whole lot of speed, and the music just sounds happy. The delightful blend of electric guitar and violins makes it sound like the stage is happy you're there playing it. You're happy, I'm happy, everybody's happy. And why shouldn't you be happy? The stage is tons of fun and you feel like you're living up to Sonic's title as the Blue Blur. The stage is also probably the perfect length too. Not so long as to overstay its welcome, but not so short that you feel unsatisfied. Rooftop Run Day isn't a particularly hard stage, and the illusion of speed might be a little bit broken if you look at the sides too much, but it doesn't need to be super difficult to be enjoyable. It's a great palate cleanser, something you can unwind with before continuing on, and in that, it does an excellent job.
I just realized, you could finish a Sonic level in the time that it takes for me to talk about them. That's Sonic for you.
You probably noticed an absence on this list, which, if omitted, would cause fans to flame me harder than the giant flame tornado in Crisis City. Well, good news, late 90s Sonic fans, Sonic Adventure 2 is on the list. And to sell out to the masses even more, we picked the one stage scientifically proven to not have me cooked for Easter dinner. Though, in case they do come after me, I know exactly what to do. Escape from the city! One of the reasons that people love Sonic Adventure 2 so much is that opening scene from Sonic's side. You pick the hero side, and for some reason, Sonic is arrested. That's a good first impression. Sonic then starts beating up the military and jumps out of the helicopter using a piece of it as a snowboard. Then the actual stage starts as you skate down, I guess, San Francisco, with all the steep streets, knocking down cars, and hoping to all that is holy that there aren't any people in them. Once you finish that section, you have a chance to play as Sonic as you get a grasp of the controls. There's an Omo Chow nearby if you need it, but who wants that? Let's smash some robots! The rest of the stage gives you plenty of practice with running up and down walls, grinding down railings, using ramps, and even gives you a chance to learn how to swing with the rods. This all culminates with you running away from a giant truck towards the goal. Don't ask how we got here. We're running away from the military. In about 3 to 4 minutes, we switch between different control styles, all with the ability to go as fast or slow as we want. Want to blast through the stage at Sonic speed? Go ahead. Want to take your time and find some of the secrets of the stage? Go for it. Want to replay it later with new abilities and find more secrets? Follow that rainbow. I will admit that the stage isn't as polished as Rooftop Run or as epic as Crisis City, but out of the stages we've looked at, not only is this stage popular, it's also fun and still holds up. For the most part. Might want to mod it a skosh, but it still plays great otherwise. This stage set the bar for the next 10 years of Sonic, and personally, nothing's beat it yet.
I'm Josh Scorcher, and next time we're talking about Sonic characters. Just only top 10 though, because otherwise we'd have a month dedicated to it all on its own.
Hey everyone, this is Josh. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the video around. Please check out my other social media like my Twitter, Twitch, and Tumblr. Check out my other channels such as Joshua Burner for reactions and other stuff, Dragon Fighter Gaming for tabletop, and Bob Equestria for cartoons. Consider checking below the video and donating to my Patreon, Streamlabs for my merchandise, or becoming a YouTube member. Thanks for watching.